In today's real estate market, the competition for clients can be intense, so the need for professionalism is great. More and more realtors are clarifying their professional relationships through buyer representation agreements or BRAs. Once a BRA is signed, the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board is pleased to provide its members with an additional professional business tool and database called the Buyer Registry Service or BRS. Its objective is simple: to help make the buyer side of real estate transactions more professional and offer greater consumer protection to buyers everywhere. Welcome to this training video on the Buyer Registry Service or BRS. Over the next several minutes, we'll discuss the whys and hows of using the BRS. Let's start by discussing the 5 key benefits to entering your buyers into this online database. To begin with, the BRS further formalizes your commitment in writing to provide your buyers with full disclosure, advice, and protection. In other words, if you think of signing a buyer representation agreement as the first step towards solidifying your professional relationship with a buyer, then entering their name into the BRS is just a natural extension of that. Another compelling reason to use the BRS is that it can protect you from accidentally working with a consumer who is already under contract. One of the purposes of signing the registry is to reduce the likelihood of working with someone who has already signed a buyer representation agreement with another realtor. Since duplicate agreements often arise out of misunderstandings, where buyers don't realize or remember which buying situations they are committed to, the buyer name search feature will assist real estate professionals and their clients in avoiding conflicting agreements. It's also important to note that the BRS may be used as evidence in a conflict. In the cases of disputes such as arbitration, the fact that you checked the BRS or entered your contracted buyer into the database may be used as evidence. Next, the BRS is also beneficial because the reverse prospect match can be used by a TREB listing salesperson to indicate demand and find buyers for their listings. A built-in reverse search function allows them to locate a list of TREB buyer salespeople with potentially interested buyers under contract. And how would a buyer benefit from this? It could mean gaining a competitive edge in a neighborhood where available homes are limited. Finally, have you ever wanted to have the prospect search tool run multiple times a day? Now you can. The BRS allows Stratus users to create a BRS property match from a profile. A BRS property match is similar to a Stratus prospect match, but with one key difference. A BRS property match can run multiple times a day, such as every hour, every 6 hours, or every 12 hours, allowing buyer reps to send buyers up-to-date details on available properties more frequently. To enter a buyer's name into the BRS, you must have a signed buyer representation agreement for a minimum of 5 days. It's important to explain to your buyer that although the BRS is a voluntary registry, it's a natural extension of the buyer representation agreement that legally entitles them to specific client privileges. To begin, log into www.torontomls.net with your membership number, PIN, and Clarity password. This is TREB's homepage. From here, click the MLS Services icon. Then the Buyer Registry Service link. The BRS menu on the left is restricted by the Permissions Manager, which is controlled by your broker of record. As a default, only certain people at your brokerage will be able to enter buyers into the BRS. Therefore, if you wish to add your own buyer into the database, instead of asking the office administrator to do it for you, please consult with your broker of record to change your permission level. To add a buyer, click Add My Firm Buyer to access the entry form. Using the Buyer Registry Data Information form as a guide, simply complete the mandatory fields. It's of utmost importance that the primary and secondary buyers' names and contact information be entered precisely. Complete the contract commencement date as well as the contract's expiry date. The minimum contract expiry date is 5 days. The remaining fields have been designed to highlight the buyer's interest in a specific municipality and community, property class, property type, and price range. These specifications will be used in the reverse search later on. Scroll down a little further and you'll notice that the brokerage details section has already been completed. Click Submit. The BRS conducts a quick search to verify if this buyer was previously entered. Click OK to confirm this entry. The buyer ID number displays. You may wish to write this down since it can make searching for the buyer in the future simpler. If you're a Stratus user, you may want to take advantage of the BRS property match. This is a unique tool designed to help simplify the process of helping a buyer find the property of their dreams. Once a buyer's profile has been established in the BRS, you simply input the criteria of your prospective buyer's home, business, space, or investment needs, and Stratus will automatically track new listings and those with status changes matching your buyer's criteria. The email frequency feature allows you to customize how often the email results are sent. BRS property matches do not count as part of the maximum number of prospect searches you are allowed in Stratus. To set up a BRS property match, click Set Up Edit BRS Property Match. You're still logged into the Buyer Registry service. Stratus will open in a separate tab within your internet browser. Do not close either of these tabs. Input the prospect's name. Please note that the BRS property match will exist for as long as the buyer's BRA is active in the BRS. Once the buyer's BRA expires, the service will remove the BRS property match that night. The property match search may also be manually suspended or deleted in the prospect searches in Stratus. Type in the email address and, if necessary, any additional recipients. Now you can select the frequency of email. This will determine how often the buyer's criteria are searched and new and revised listings are distributed via email. The clock starts at midnight. If the frequency is set to hourly, the search would run at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., etc. If the frequency is set to every 6 hours, the search would run at midnight, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. If the frequency is set to 12 hours, the search would run at midnight and noon. Next, select the class and search type and click Continue. You'll be brought to the criteria page of your select search type. In this example, we chose New Search. Input your buyer's desired criteria and then click Submit to view the available results. At the results screen, you can print or email any listings as in any search. To save the property match criteria, click Save Prospect in the blue notification box at the bottom of the form or search results. Active BRS property matches will display under the Property Searches tab in Stratus. When a Y displays in the BRS match column, this indicates that the search was set up using a BRS property match. If you recall, one of the key benefits of the BRS is that it can decrease the likelihood of accidentally working with someone else's contracted buyer. It's therefore a good idea to conduct a search of the BRS before you begin working with a new buyer. To do so, under the Search Buyer Registry options, click Buyer Name. Next, fill in the buyer's search form by completing the required contact information fields such as name, address, and telephone number. Once you click Submit, you'll receive one of 3 possible messages to indicate a match, a possible match, or no match at all. To indicate a match, the BRS message would be that the buyer's name as entered already exists and is registered in the system. If the service shows that the buyer's name as entered may already be registered in the system, it means that the name you typed is very similar to the name of a registered buyer with the same contact information. This might happen if, for example, you searched for Bob House and the service found a registered buyer under the legal name Robert House. And finally, if the BRS can't locate the name you searched for, the message returned will simply be that the buyer's name does not appear as registered in the system. But wait, although a buyer's name match was not found in the BRS, this does not necessarily mean that the person is free from any contractual obligation to another realtor. The BRS is, after all, voluntary. In the case of uncertainty, we suggest that you use this opportunity to engage in a conversation with your client to clarify whether they are under contract with another realtor and to discuss the value of signing a BRA and the benefits of becoming part of the BRS. At this time, it's important to mention that if a dispute does arise between you and another realtor over who is entitled to a buyer's commission, the fact that you searched the BRS or added a contracted buyer into the BRS may be used as evidence in an arbitration hearing. If you're still looking for another reason to use the BRS, consider the reverse search. It's a built-in search tool that allows selling realtors to take a proactive step towards finding potential buyers. You see, since the BRS already contains the details of various buyer profiles, the reverse search will find a list of other realtors with registered buyers looking for properties similar to yours. Here's how it works. If you're about to list a property in TREB's MLS system, click Reverse Search on the left sidebar. Next, complete the geographic area where your listing is located, as well as a few additional details such as class, type, and price to describe the property. Then, to search for the names of other realtors with potential buyers, click Submit. As you can see, only the names of realtors and their brokerages are revealed. Therefore, you'll have to contact them to let them know about the property. To do so, simply place check marks next to the names on this list and then click Email. An email window opens with a basic message already in place. All you have to do is click Send. We hope that this tutorial helps clarify the purpose and the use of the Buyer Registry service. If you'd like more detailed instructions, please access the accompanying workbook.